Hello there and welcome to the Book Journey Mentor channel. My name is Danni Blechner. I'm an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful message and story out there on a global scale. Behind me are just some of the 77 books that we have published over the last 4 years. I'm absolutely passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard authors, for them to get their powerful message and story out there so that they can educate, inspire and empower for generations to come. So today I wanted to offer you 5 ways you can gain publicity online. At this very moment in time, we are on lockdown, which means events are cancelled. We can't have our book launches. We can't go out and do our speaking engagements. So we need to really get inventive and think about how we can actually promote and gain publicity online. If you're watching this in years and years to come and you're wondering, what is lockdown? It means we've all been confined to our homes for a period of time. I'm based in the UK. We have been on lockdown now for what feels like 3 months. We're slowly easing out, but we still can't have huge events at this moment in time. So this live really is about offering you ways that you can gain that publicity online with your book. Number 1 is have a Twitter party. What do I mean by Twitter party? Have a party on Twitter. So, for example, with your book, I want you to think about a date and a time for an hour, let's say Sundays between 2 and 3. Hey, I'm going to be on Twitter and we're going to be discussing different themes from my book, and we're going to be using the hashtag, let's say, from my sister's book, hashtag slow down. Her book is called Self-Care for Life in the City, which is all about how we nourish our mind, body and soul, which is a great time to do, especially now as we've been called to slow down. So think about a hashtag that's going to be unique to you. You don't want to be using a hashtag that everyone's using because you're going to lose the thread of the conversation. The great thing about having a Twitter party is that you can @ lots of different people within that conversation. So for example, if your book is about, let's stick with my sister's book, holistic health and fitness, she could @ magazines or people within that industry to draw them into the conversation, all using the hashtag slow down. And when you do a hashtag search within the Twitter search box, what you'll do is you'll be able to find all the different conversations that have gone on about your book, and that is what forms the party. And of course you can retweet, you can connect with other people. It's just a great way to get the party started and to really create a buzz on Twitter around your book. Number 2 is the power of live video, something I absolutely love doing. Set up a YouTube channel, have a weekly show. You can find your own channel that works for you, whether that's Facebook, Instagram. A live show is a great way to really build your platform. Number 1, people get to see you and know you. People don't want to read long posts anymore. I love reading, but we just don't have the time to read lots and lots of posts. And people are very visual as well. They want to get to know you as a person. We want to interact. So having a weekly show is a really great way to build your platform. You can do 2 different things here. You can do something whereby you're reading extracts from your book. I had a client who had a segment every week. It was called Extract Sunday, where she'd read an extract from her book. Again, you're gaining interest from other people. They're hearing your book before it comes out, and that entices them in. And then the call to action, and if you'd like a copy of my book, here it is. What you can also do as well is you can create a discussion beforehand. So let's say you have a show every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. So I'll take my book, for example. My very first book is called Mr. Wrong. What can I do with that? I could have had a weekly show every Wednesday, 7 p.m, create a really nice Canva image, advertise, let people know, and have a theme. You don't just want to be talking about your book. You want to have a theme around your book. And think about a catchy subject header that's going to get people involved. For example, one that I did was, are Mr. Wrongs born or are they made? Get ready, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, come and interact, let us know your point of view. And then it becomes more of a discussion. You can read extracts from your book as well. And then again, here's a copy of my book. Live video is a fantastic way to really engage your audience. My last tip when it comes to live video is you can also have a show. I'm going to bring in my sister, Francesca Blechner. She has a weekly show now on Instagram where she interviews people in the health and wellness industry, talking about some of the topics within her book, but also in their specific expertise and field. So what's happening there is she's leveraging from their audience and they're leveraging from her audience, bringing those two audiences together. It's a really great way to meet new people and to engage new people with your platform. Not just having you speak, but you're spicing it up by bringing in other areas of expertise, other people to interview as well. So number 2 is the power of live video. Number 3 is to create an online book launch. Now, when we first got into lockdown, I had 3 books coming out. We had book launches planned, which we obviously had to cancel. We had to very quickly think about an alternative. So tip for you if you're a business owner, one of the biggest things that I have learned during this time is it's so important to be adaptable. We've got to adapt to our environment. Benjamin Franklin says, change is the only constant. Our ability to adapt to change is what determines success. So you can have an online party or an online book launch on Facebook. You simply create an event, get people to click that they're going to that event. You can advertise it, create some lovely Canva images, a flyer, tell people what to expect. You can have an itinerary. You don't really want your book launch any more really than an hour and a half tops, my personal opinion. A lot of us are already stuck behind computers quite a lot. We want to limit that screen time. So 1 hour to 1.5 hours during that Facebook launch. So we had a host. I interviewed the author. We also had people come on and give testimonials around working with the author as well as reviews for the book. And then we had a bit of a competition whereby we asked people who were watching the interview to like, share and comment on the interview. What that does, number 1, is they become your promoters, getting you more followers, building your platform. And when you comment on a video, what that does is it pushes it up the algorithm so that it becomes more visible, which is great. That's what you want, more visibility. And then one person will be selected. The person has to have liked, commented and shared out the video. That one person would win a copy of the book. We also launched a children's book online as well, a colouring book. And before the launch, 2 weeks up to the lead up, we ran a campaign asking for children to create their own symbol. So the book was called Adinkra Colouring Book, which focuses on African symbols. And then it tells you the meaning behind these symbols, what the value is behind the symbols, and then they colour in the tessellation of that symbol. And so the competition was for children to create their own symbol, to give it a name and tell us what that symbol means. And we had lots of children sending in pictures of themselves holding up their symbol. Some did videos explaining their symbol as well. And we chose one winner, which was announced in the launch party on Facebook. So you really can have some fun coming up with some creative ways to have an alternative online book launch. Number 4 is you again can create another competition, but with this competition that you're going to be running online is all about getting reviews. Now, when you publish a book, quite often what is forgotten is the importance of reviews. What does a review do? First of all, it boosts your credibility. When people are buying books online, I know certainly for myself, if you're using Amazon, and Goodreads is a great place also to leave reviews. But let's say you're on Amazon and you're choosing a product, quite often that customer or potential customer is going to be reading the reviews. What have people thought of the book? And if there aren't any reviews, you're less likely to make that sale. So reviews are really important for a second reason, is that it makes you more visible on platforms like Amazon, for example. It boosts you up on that list. So really, really important, get those reviews. So what can you do? You can create a competition on social media asking people who've read your book and enjoyed your book to write a review for you, whether that's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whatever the channel is. Make sure you leave the link to your book. Ask them to comment below so that you can see who's actually read your book and follow up. And tell them that give them a time limit. Time limits are so important. Say you have 48 hours to leave me a review. I will be selecting a winner from someone who's left me a review, and think about a really interesting giveaway. Obviously, you don't want to give them another copy of your book because they've read it. So think about something that they're going to really benefit from. So number 4 was to create a competition and get as many people as you can to write a review for your book. And my final tip is number 5, create a blog tour. What is a blog tour? Blog tours are really good ways of getting your name out. The blogging world is huge. There are so many different people who are writing book reviews. Make sure that they're writing book reviews for your genre before you contact them. There also may be lots of bloggers out there who are writing about themes that exist within your book. So there's 2 different strands that we're looking at. So let's look at the book reviewers. Have a look at their site. Have a look at what the protocol is. Have a look at what genres that they read. Contact these bloggers and introduce yourself. Like, comment, get involved in discussions on their blog. Create and establish that relationship. Tell them you've written a book and you'd love for them to review it. And see if you can time it so that you've got all of these bloggers reviewing your book in a short period of time. And that is what creates your tour. So maybe you want to have 2 pieces on each blog for 7 days. You can also find people who are writing about similar subjects. For example, when I was writing my first book, Mr. Wrong, in the search bar, I was using WordPress, but you can also use other platforms like Medium. I was putting in things like dating, relationships, Mr. Wrong, abusive relationships, so I could connect to people that I knew who were writing about the themes that were within my book. And I created some really good links with a lot of people who were writing about relationships. And lots of those people asked me to write a guest piece for their own blog. Of course, it's about reciprocation as well. So I got them to also write a guest piece on my blog too. And then you can reblog what they've written so that they benefit from your audience and you benefit from their audience. So these are really good ways of creating relationships and establishing links. Creating relationships when it comes to gaining publicity online is key. And look after your audience, look after your reader, nurture them. If you nurture your reader, they're more likely to come back to you when your next book is out. They're going to be interested in your next service and anything else that you have to bring. Thank people for their reviews. Thank people for interviewing you and for giving you a platform and space on their blog, for example. Thank people for coming to your online book parties. Thank people for engaging in debates around your book, because nurturing that relationship is what's going to make you and your book remembered. So those are the 5 tips that I have for creating publicity online for your book. I hope you found that helpful. I am offering free 30-minute consultations. So if you have a book inside you that is dying to get out, please click the link below, subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to talking with you. Bye-bye.